Got something that needs doing, Commander?
The cultist known as Azza has been admitted to the ship roster. Among her registered weapons is what she refers to as her disemboweling knife. This unit reminds the commander that anticoagulants are your first line of defense when injury occurs.
I'm all for giving folks a chance, but a cultist, Commander? Really? Skills like a willingness to launch yourself into a rift, you mean? Yeah, very useful. Leaving all else aside, the problem is that we don't know this woman, and she's not giving us much cause to trust her. In fact, I say it's just the opposite. All right, Commander. I'll play nice, but only because you asked. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Inez's grafts are unthinkable. Simply to get ahead, Auntie's choice expected her to permanently manifest a raptidon limb? A crabble claw? Sovereign's mercy. It appears she lives a life of constant self-maintenance, lest her grafts break down. Not to mention the discomfiture and pain of bearing a foreign edition. Not that it bothers me. She is an enemy of the Protectorate, after all. We would never afflict one of our own with such a fate. Certainly. I consider myself an open tome. Sparing Virgil was a terrible error. If I ever see him again, it is an error I shall rectify. His admission of his flagging faith in the Protectorate is almost as serious a crime. I shall have to redouble my devotion to make up for his lack.
I'm certain as soon as I talk to Severin, I'll be able to figure this all out. No matter how I turn this over in my mind, I find no answers. Perhaps their faith failed them, and they succumbed to greed, sold us out for some measly bits. I can't, but I'm fairly confident he wouldn't. If he did, he'll die like the rest of them. Then I'd truly be at a loss, with no idea how to get back in the Dawn's good graces. If we're so deeply infiltrated, I'm certain our leader will have gone to ground.
What could possibly be keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the brutish handling by the Protectorate is too much for it. The misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. In the snow, that means more moisture, which means even more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this? It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord of unfortunate options. In the short term, it's wreaking havoc with the weather and causing small, localized blizzards. Long term, the archive would suffer irreparable damage to multiple systems. Undoubtedly, this would reduce its maximum operations per millisecond. Obviously, this is unacceptable. I loathe that, for now, our actions may aid the Protectorate, but we must protect the archive. Oh, this is most appreciated. Unfortunately, the previous repair personnel took the only repair kit I had on hand. I'll mark the coordinates of the resistor bank on your map, but locating the repair personnel will be up to you. If you find him, you find the kit. I hope. Otherwise, the repair will be most difficult. I'll guide you.
Not the most hospitable climate. Keep an eye on your fingers and toes.
Temporary indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Hold. We're presently observing a ceasefire with Auntie's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in any crossfire. Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the archive, first to the invaders and now to the Protectorate, has made it even more painful. Never mind the rifts. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. Avalanche collapsed part of the tunnel to the garden, so the safest path is along the cliffside here. Mind your step.
find your proposed time leisurely. Unaccountably so.
But going any faster grossly increases the threat of collapse. Burying us beneath the snow benefits no one.
So long as we are operating.
Don't bother conversating unless you're
Please
prepared
don't
to
take
take
me on a
resources.
tangent.
Have you at least determined the cause of the avalanche?
Can't talk. Calculating an inverse.
Try
angle
not to
sine function in
deviate
my
from
head.
the norm.
I've got your numeral. Keep moving.
Heard that rift near the Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Cultist. Agitators are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
How'd you like to find your insides waiting outside?
I find that an improbable outcome were we to engage in violent conflict. The Oracle Laureate is our foremost seer, excluding the presiding bishop herself. He oversees the Department of Predictive Analysis, and in so doing keeps the Order on course. Indubitably, Laureate Beckett said to accommodate you as best as possible, but rules are rules. Is this some kind of test? No participants or observants are permitted to discuss Laplace's garden outside its boundaries. You'll discover all you need once inside, after ridding yourself of your problematic auxiliary, of course. Was there ambiguity in my previous warning? Don't cause any trouble.
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? All conflict is transient in nature. To dwell on the negativity of a moment is to risk missing the opportunity of what comes next. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. It may seem like I'm speaking from a position of luxury and privilege, but it is a privilege the Order hopes to share with all one day. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
Time to see if the room. Let's see if the rumors about this place are true.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Regrettably, no. Our most recent studies show that such a combination is too potent for most scholars to handle. Oh, undoubtedly. Looks can be deceiving, after all. Nevertheless, much as I might enjoy watching your thesis borne out, we must abide by the protocols of the garden. Alas. Then let's have a gush. I haven't spied you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I'd have run the mugs through the autoclave twice if I'd known the garden was receiving visitors now. All right, your turn. What questions have you got percolating in that mind of yours? I didn't hear a question. Everyone is simply contented by the good work they're doing to advance the plan. Everything in perfect exactitude, as Vicar Udicott might say. That said, if something more sinister was going on, would that concern you? Well, good thing nothing's amiss then. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way. You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. Moderate your volume, please. No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
What a lamentable state of a... I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand its light. I knew you had a knowledgeable look about you. That would be wonderful. Thank you, dear. There's a panel just here. I will supervise from a respectable distance, but know that I am with you in theory, like the architect's own guiding hand. And so there was light. My sincerest thanks. I will be sure to extol your virtues to the laureates the next time we speak. And here, a little treat for your effort.
Keep your digits where I can see them.
The scientician's surplus. No more than what you need.
Welcome to the Scientician's Surplus. I am the scientician in question. Any inquiries about the stock may be directed to me. Either you intend to buy or you intend to go without. It would be unethical for me to interfere with your decision-making process. Of course you would.
Every day treating the same. The operating theater is... That is not an invitation to return to your stud. That is best...
never would have guessed the Order had all this space available, given what we saw at Matriarch's Mercy. Wonder why they're not moving folks in.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
How did your
You're
hypothesis
not
about
going
the
to be a
flowers fare?
problematic variable,
Sorry to
are
cut
you?
you
Don't
off, but
bother
I'm
conversating
encumbered
unless
with
you're prepared
various
to cite your
concerns
sources.
of the existential variety.
Access is not granted. Off you go.
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. Thank you. No, not asleep. Merely waiting. I have no idea. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. Indeed you are. All figures have value in the universal equation, although, upon immediate reflection, I don't think that's what you meant. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more.
pity's sake, is it the pump or the sealant? Industrial science is mostly theory, they said. You won't have to put your knowledge into practice for years, they said. Now the fountain's broken and I can't. Useless. I'm useless. We had an avalanche recently, not far from the dome. One of these fountains stopped working around the same time. Stands to reason something must have been jostled loose. I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. But I've never had to put my knowledge into application before. It's not going well. You must be an agent of the architect. The panel here controls the intake and outtake for the fountains. I'd start there. Oh, praise the architect. I hear water running. Come see, it's beautiful. I'd provide compensation, but isn't the garden's beautification a reward in and of itself? Feel that reduction in annoyance? That's some quality burbling. Feel that reduction in annoyance? That's some quality burbling.
Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
Feel that reduction in annoyance? That's quality burbling.
Lift access is currently restricted. Keep moving.
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. At this time, residents of Laplace's garden are not permitted beyond this point.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a
Agent,
solution that requires
over here.
very little computation.
Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
Try not to deviate from the norm.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Well, I'll be hanged. At the pitter of footsteps at my door, I expected another Order ankle nipper, bent on furthering my disquietude. Philo Tresmer, Protectorate wordsman at arms. Mercenary, eh? Your demeanor speaks for itself. In a different life, we might have been enemies. But as far as I'm concerned, anyone here not a traitorous, thrice-damned scientist is a compatriot of mine. That strain of thinking is what brought us into this mess in the first place. All science wreaks is destruction, and the Order gleefully brings about as much. Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards. I am not just anyone. The duty of a liaison is of the utmost importance, requiring due diligence and delicacy. Though I suppose it a mite strange that this task fell to me, as I'd urge the vehement tanning of any wayward body bent on disrespecting the Protectorate. As of yet, that does not include the other Protectorate personnel I've encountered on Cloister, even though they seem loyal to the Consul above all else. The Consul is intended to supplement the Sovereign's rule, acting as a spy master and war coordinator. But of late, he has been overactive. The Consul is doing his duty, but I'm concerned that the people may begin to look to him for guidance instead of the Sovereign. I've heard rumors of late that a foolish minority has become skeptical of the Sovereign's leadership. Madness, I say. We must have faith. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. The Protectorate has a will that must be upheld. My presence here is a display of more faith than these fools deserve. Niceties are irrelevant, and likely detrimental to the task at hand. I am here to make the Order see the error of their ways. All other particulates are frivolous.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
A visitor. It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Not if I cannot gauge for certain if you can be trusted. I cannot allow just anyone to wander into Ruth's quarters. But there is something you could do to prove yourself worthy. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
Probably best to mention this to Azza before we smear blood all over Newton.
I always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another?
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.
Of 1 to 100, how pleased are you with the garden in its current state? Please.
I have many solutions,
You know,
but none for your
You
problems.
strike me as
Private.
someone with a very small body.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order. I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. There are no drugs in Laplace's garden. Specifically, a phlogistonated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Are you deriding me, or do you honestly believe that? So many exemplars have died since this war began. So many under my leadership. But that's not your point, I understand. I wish I had more time to devote to my tinkering, but the war takes precedence. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its Protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
receive your personalized order prediction yet. I'll admit to a bit of trepidation in regards to...
I've got your numeral. Keep moving.
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distraction.
No reason to be lifesavers. I would have been dead 3 times over without Ma. Mind your truth table P's and
Cause
Q's
trouble
now.
and I will school you. Chapter and verse. Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of ursopods in the area. I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat.
Don't talk to move.
This might sting. A lot.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100, with 1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain you can... Hello, layperson.
Happy to chat for 0.07 seconds. Oh! Time's up. Bye.
Not in the mood for a random interaction, thank you.
It has the Auntie's choice. Oh, Architect, preserve us.
Damn, Auntie's a...
You have a very non-scholarly
Oh,
look
hello.
about you.
Cogitate here often?
Do you see these bags?
You okay?
I
Seem
can
off
tell
by
we
a
have
few
little
decibels.
crossover of interests. Show your work or shove off.
Hello. Farewell.
I suppose
Thank you for
I
this
could
efficient and
spare
compact conversation.
Try not to deviate from the norm.
Say hello.
Another object, just gone. Nothing should.
Excuse me, I don't think you have the authorization.
It's fine, but don't get too fascinating. Salutations. We've been doing our utmost to find ways to manipulate this rift or extract data from it. Unfortunately, our efforts have been ineffective thus far. I suppose it's too much to hope for, but would you, perchance, happen to have any practical experience with or mathematical understanding of the rift phenomena? Hmm?
I told Severin to meet us at a spot near here. Let's keep moving. I told Severin to meet us at a spot near here. Let's keep moving. I told Severin to meet us.
You. I don't know you. But you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the exalted leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa. Sentinel's target confirmed.
Sentinels! The target is here!
I found a message on Severin's body. The Exalted Leader betrayed us to save herself and used Severin as bait for an ambush. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The Exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. We don't need to worry about their systems. My parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms.
And how did you sleep? Decidedly horrible. If it was any colder, I'd be dead. Those Protectorate loudspeakers playing all night remind me of the police. I've been hearing them in my dreams. Your shift, please. Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires... I can't go back up there. I feel like I'm going to... No reason to reason with you. I've got your numeral. Keep moving.
Do your own research.
Just stay focused. Keep your head down. Breathe. Side high to 1,000. What do you think those Protectorate subjects are doing over there?
Probably genuflecting.
Seems rough. I can tell we
I
have
have
little
many solutions, but
crossover
none
of
for your
interests.
problems. By the look.
Hey, I observed that.
Forever vigilant.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Aggressor at hand. Aggressor. Step aside. Swine. This might sting. A lot.
clear. Go, go, go! You have a very non-scholarly look about you.
Reason's pass is off limits. Unwelcome guests will be ushered from existence promptly and without further ado. was Auntie's choice, then the Protectorate. After that, some daft cultists. I don't even know what group you Hullheads belong to. Don't care either. Your motivations are relatable to me in only the vaguest abstract form, if you possess any at all.
Look sharp.
Sharp enough. Hostile nearby.
Troublemaker approaching.
Of mine, but no, I don't know you. Go away. I don't know you. Go away. I don't know you. Go away.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. big regret this. got my back on an
Hell of a fight took place here. Guessing the Protectorate won. Let me know when you need a distraction.
Look sharp. It's a...
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal. Looks like going see. Looks like folks here were in the process of a supply drop. Literally.
Welcome, intrepid consumer, to Auntie's Choice territory. The wonders of winter's grasp lay ahead, though do stay on the road. The ice caves conceal all manner of dangers.
Trooper! Hayes! I've no fair ideas of how to proceed, White. Nothing we do seems to garner the... Yes? Can I, wait. Welcome, potential customer, to the majesty of Auntie's military might. Normally, I would be at your service, but I'm dealing with a situation here. It's really none of your...
Sarge, maybe they can help. The two of us are certainly out of options.
And who'll pay them for the assistance? You? Very well. The issue is our compatriot, Trooper Hayes. He seems to have some kind of break or shock to the head, and he's, well...
Same sucker, bad habit blocker. It tracks every movement like a hunting death stalker. Try a gross habit, it shocks and nadgy bits. This flogger's a stopper, you just can't brush off her.
He's that.
Ever since the attack last night, he's been unresponsive and communicating only in jingles. At first I thought it might be some manner of marketing ploy, but it seems permanent. The artillery bombardment was particularly heavy last night before the assault began, and the rounds shook the ground so badly that our lantern flew off its hook on the wall. Hayes put his hands over his ears, lay feet on the ground, and after the only thing that had come from his mouth were jingles. Old archaic jingles, ones I haven't heard in years. We must rouse him back to sanity. He's their sole earner, and should he be discharged, just the cost of his family's lodgings on the claim is more than enough to bankrupt them. Yes. Well, maybe. They're the kind of sales roles you take when you're young, before you reach an age to become a real earner. Sadly, you're probably right. We'll try and get him back to base and hope there's enough in his account to cover psychodesectification. Thank you for trying to help.
Has anyone seen Jack? He was patrolling the caves in Sector 13. You look unfortified.
Ever read the
Getting
middle
enough
manager
emulsifiers
handbook?
in your diet?
Really
You know
shores
what?
up the foundation
You're
of your
all right.
fundamentals.
Our FOB at the bridge has been totally isolated from reinforcements. Protectorate so
Their field movements have been shockingly well coordinated.
Nice of you to shoulder a bit of the workload.
Keep it up and we'll name a vodka flavor after you.
Maybe we won by now?
That's just crazy talk. Then I think
Whoa there, go-getter. Say, have you ever considered the benefits of becoming a semi-confidential, unpaid informant for Auntie's Choice? Breathe once for yes. Field Agent Auerbach, proprietary inside acquisition. Our team's presently occupying these premises, but haven't fully brought them to heel, per se. Would you happen to be familiar with this campus? We're not entirely clear what it was used for. Far as we can tell, order's been cleared out for some time. If not, I might politely inquire what exactly you're doing here. We scour rival facilities for hidden recipes, secret formulas, special ingredients, and assorted confidential internal know-how, then develop it into products to bring to market. It's a unique brand of warfare, exclusive to Auntie's Choice, designed to break incredible ingenuities out of cloistered captivity and share them across the galaxy. Information wants to be freed, then priced and shared along understood lines of commodification and distribution. Based on your reticence, I take it you're bound for unorthodox notion reclusion then. How exceedingly ill-advised. Ah, well, suppose we'll let you in. You might disable a death trap or two with your bodies, then we can step over your cadavers and maybe use them for a shield. Alternately, if you manage to find anything marketable, probably be game to barter for it later. Assuming you don't die, which in that case, we'll probably just retrieve it off your corpse. Either way,
Earth's all but turned that bridge to shreds.
Bet they'll name you employee of the physical
You seem like
quarter.
a go-getter. Let's consume lunch sometime.
No chance of getting past that rift without getting out some printing. Knew we should have gone there first.
Dagmar. The cur. How could she betray me? Her, of all people. The one who recruited me into the Dawn and saved my life. And out of all the cultists, she elevated me to the highest rank in the Dawn. Was her right hand. She was my supervisor. I was just a lowly scientist. She alone could see my heart through the shell the Protectorate encased me in. And when she saw my pain, she looked into my background. It was then that she recruited me. My psychological profile. I saw it once. Recommended sending me to mental refreshment when I was young. Repeatedly. Something about killing sprats. But my parents were able to keep that from happening. The paranoia the Protectorate creates in its subjects crowds everything else out. even familial love. They were terrified that my behavior would lead people to start looking at them askance. You remember I told you they were vigilant, right? They could have helped me in numerous ways, ways lesser subjects' parents couldn't. But they did nothing. Just locked me away until I learned to hide my feelings. My existence was always bleak, joyless, without purpose. Just like every other subject's. Dagmar was the first friend I'd had since I was a young child. She gave me a life. A family. Or so I thought. I don't believe I have any trust left for anyone. Including you.
All will become equal.
Aggressor at hand.
Troublemaker approaching. Hostiles.
The rift offers absolution, the solution to our persecution.
Sharp enough. Off that.
Oh, no,
Ready to waste him, or you're...
I see an unfriendly troop!
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Unfriendly company. They're not.
I'm the one you need to worry about. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter.
What in the fuck is happening to the glorious dawn?
My friend, I anticipated simple maintenance, but what you've done is pure, architect-inspired artistry. This level of fine-tuning to the voltage monitoring system is breathtaking. Such magnificent work is most definitely worthy of a reward. Truly, the plan has provided by sending you to my aid. That is most unfortunate, but at least his sacrifice did help improve the operations per millisecond. I will include his name in the records for this repair.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order. I shall allow myself a moment of relief. Moment passed. I'd hoped killing the cultists was its own reward. But you may also take this. You've proven yourself well, but we have recently experienced a pivotally important, unforeseen development. One I must meet directly. Can I count on you? One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. I hope your zeal is properly placed. The Protectorate soldiers guarding the crash site are unlikely to let you close, unless something else is made to arrest their attention. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting.
Your pet mechanical has been something of a nuisance lately. She bludgeoned me on multiple occasions, and earlier she came at me with a live electrical prod. I suspect I should be annoyed, yet I find myself nostalgic. It reminds me of my Academy pain tolerance seminars, minus the broken fingers.
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
Good thing you didn't start with much, then.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I suppose congratulations are in order for having dispatched so many Sentinels. Can't rightly say I'm surprised, what with your knack for wanton violence. But still, impressive. And let's not forget that I was the one who gave Azahelia Lightinger a purpose and fulfillment. Look at how much fun you've had.
Keep it up, Commander, and you'll be next on my disemboweling list. Right after I fillet Dagmar here for her betrayal.
Let's not be hasty. I mean, can it even be a betrayal if it was always lies? But I must say, when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest, I knew you were the perfect candidate.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
As much as I'd prefer to not anger you, I must say your willful ignorance is still a thing to behold. You were always so willing to accept even the most specious of arguments. I can only hope your luck has run its course, and the remaining Sentinels are able to put you down. Your death would put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. I've no idea what you're speaking of. The Glorious Dawn is the future of Arcadia. Dagmar must die violently because she betrayed us. I know of no other way to act.
How did you let Aza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Form up! They're closing in!
Be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the true Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people. Which wrong people didn't she kill? We were supposed to work through intimidation and the perceived threat to our system. Sure, maybe kill some subjects, those that could possibly become threats to the Protectorate, but not the dozens she slaughtered. For Matriarch's sake, she was killing vigilance. And then she started asking questions that would have led to her discovering the truth. She had to die before the Consul decided to cut the link between Azza, him, and the Dawn. Me. The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
Enough of this blathering on! It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways. As I told you before, there's only death for those who would betray the cult!
No, let's...
She's dead. As am I. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous Exalted Leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with, and that I am now in charge. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, I'm hoping there are more than a few that refuse to acknowledge their new leader. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me. It's strange how I ended up here, leading the cult. If I hadn't started traveling with you, I may have spent my days hunting down the members I thought traitors and never realized it was Dagmar until too late. You may not have noticed, but I have a tendency to be a little impulsive, reckless, even. The cult needs me. They need my certainty. It was my deep faith that brought me through this trial, and it is my faith that will restore them. And I'm not discounting your part in all this. Like I said, without you, I'd be dead. The cult in ruins. What do you need, Commander?